Hi, my name is Trevor Gosling. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Lulalend, based in Cape Town, South Africa. The highlights of my career to date would probably be exiting my first venture that I founded after going through a struggling period over 18 months and then scaling up from there and just getting acknowledgement from what you've built and getting a company like Nusspace to acquire it was obviously a big highlight in my career. When investors are looking at opportunities to provide capital to companies to grow, but in the very early days of starting a company, it's very much about the entrepreneurs behind the business. Is there a decent concept that they've modeled the business around? But more importantly, do the entrepreneurs have the grit to be able to get through the tough times, to be able to succeed? The focus for investors very much comes towards the management team that you've built, but then they start digging deeper into the metrics of the business. What is your cash burn looking like? What is your P&L looking like? And what are your business unit economics looking like? And where's your company going? And that's really what gets later stage investors excited and willing to put capital into your company to take it to the next level. So it was really about finding a co-founder that first and foremost was in the technology space. I'm more commercially driven. Wanting to build a world-class tech company, I needed a CTO and someone that was happy to walk the journey with me. And I was very fortunate that Neil, my co-founder, he was in South Africa. He's actually friends with my older brother. He's based in the UK. He was in South Africa, and he was looking for an opportunity in the tech space. He's got an impressive resume of working in investment banks in the UK, and very fortunate that he jumped on board because to find a CTO in the early days that's willing to work for sweat equity and not get paid is a big thing, and someone with that experience to come on board was super helpful in terms of us getting off the ground and for where we are today. We've really come to understand what the pains of entrepreneurs are, and it's not just that access to cash element, it's more. It's how do they manage their cash and think about their cash on a daily basis. Do they understand their cash flow profile? And with all that in mind, it led us down this road of building an end-to-end digital neobank with credit still at its core. So fundamentally, we want to support SMEs with access to credit. But we provide full end-to-end banking capabilities on transactional accounts, and embedded over that are business financial management tools. If we consider the typical SME, they're probably running their business on Excel, and that's the only way they're seeing their numbers. So we've given them the ability to understand their numbers on a whole different level, understand their cash flow position, where they're going, what invoices haven't been paid, the ability to even issue invoices and that sort of thing. So really an end-to-end cash flow solution as we look at it to help SMEs forget about that worry of cash flow, make it a whole lot easier for them so that they can focus on their business and give them more chance of success. For me, South Africa has got so much opportunity available to entrepreneurs. If you look at more developed markets, a whole lot more has been solved for, a whole lot more of the digital or tangible infrastructure is already in place. Where Africa and South Africa as well, there's so much that can still be built and delivered on, and that's really exciting to me. So a lot of the local venture capital companies we were talking to really told us to think global and solve for global problems, but we were focused on making sure that we solve for an African problem and made sure that we were able to deliver here before we lift our heads up and go, all right, we want to go global with what we've built. So outside of work, there's not a ton of time, I'll be honest. Work does take up a significant part of my life, but I'm happy to have it that way. But for me, it's really about my family, spending quality time with them when I do have the time. And then, I often think about my mental and physical well-being. So being in Cape Town, taking up trail running has been a big part of my life, and going for the odd surf to clear my head is super important. And then, my faith is incredibly important to me, and keeps me humbled and my feet on the ground, and make sure that I'm focusing on the right priorities in life. The big solve for a scaling business is really about how you scale, but you never lose that connection with your customer. So making sure that any new people coming into the business really feel part of the culture, they understand what we're about, that we're super passionate about SMEs and technology and how we can solve for SMEs using technology, and give them a real fundamental experience of what it's like to be a customer of Lulalend and the pain that we're solving for them. So that's a continued theme that we continue to talk to through all new joiners, and making sure that first 4 to 6 months of any new employee's journey with Lulalend, they're really getting embedded into our culture and belief in the vision that we're trying to achieve. I think once you've obtained that CA SA designation, it opens up a ton of doors for you. If you want to pursue the corporate route, that's fantastic. That's definitely going to assist you. But if you still want to go the entrepreneurial route, I can tell you from personal experience, it's incredibly helpful having that designation behind your name in a number of factors. One of them being, just raising capital when you speak to investors, and particularly institutional investors who want to understand, the leadership behind the company. The credibility that you get from a SA designation is massive, and particularly because the South African designation has incredibly high regard globally. So the bulk of our capital has been raised offshore, but just from offshore capital providers understanding the South African environment and South African CAs, they're very positive about what we bring to the table, and are willing to support us, which is obviously incredibly helpful.